Sean Meyers joined by Bernie Pucka, the head coach of the Franklin Regional girls basketball team. A historic season for the Panthers as they now enter the Class 5A postseason. And Bernie, I know one of the biggest accomplishments that you could possibly dream of was winning a section title for the first time since the 1970s. You ended up ultimately splitting it with Shaler, but you still get to add that to the banner. How significant is that for this program?
Oh my gosh, I have to begin by just thanking God for the wonderful opportunity and surrounding me with such great people at Franklin Regional, from coaches to players to fans. I couldn't be in a better place right now. Your introduction gave me chills as we speak and goosebumps up and down my arms and legs. It's a wonderful opportunity for our girls, and I'm thrilled to be here.
I know that you could sort of see that this was going to be a good year because you had so many veteran players who have been contributors for multiple seasons. What stood out about how it all came together this year?
The epitome of team under the leadership of Maddie DeRiggi, our point guard. Beginning with her, she's our little engine that makes us go, as well with our shooter, Addison Musto, who, from our opponent's perspective, she requires a lot of defensive game planning, which opens up some lanes for Maddie DeRiggi and the likes of Torrin Fulton with Anna Novelli and Chloe Puchka. So I think the epitome of team, where one person necessarily can't hurt you as much as the group together.
When did you, or maybe more importantly, when did the players realize that this year could be a special one? Was there a particular game, a particular moment that comes to mind?
Well, I would have to say going through the first half of section play and finishing with Shaler at home. We could tell that the writing was on the wall for something special. Once we were able to capture that win against Shaler at home, the likes of that section banner were right above me during the course of an interview. It was there, but we left it just there in that distance because there was so much basketball to be played at that time. Anyone could defeat anybody in this particular section. It's extremely competitive. So we left that in the distance. As we started chipping away in 2025 here in January and having such a great month, that goal became closer and closer. We were able to capture that goal against Armstrong and did what we have to do. So just taking that one game at a time approach, keeping that in the distance, I think is what led to the success.
You talk about the win against Shaler. The Titans did get some vengeance, certainly, in the second meeting as they really put the clamps down. What did you learn from that loss that maybe can help the team going forward?
Certainly put the clamps down, indeed. That 2-3 zone that he calls Syracuse is played like Jim Boeheim and Syracuse of the past. I mean, they put the clamps down, impenetrable during the course of that game. But watching ourselves against the Titans, we realized that we can take advantage of that particular zone. Krista Petropola, a former player of mine at Plum, and I sat down and really dissected that to grow and to learn. So hopefully we can take some of that with us as we play Bethel Park, assuming that they may show us similar looks.
I would say it's maybe not a coincidence that you get the number 5 seed, Shaler gets the number 4 seed. So if it goes according to chalk, you certainly could see them again. The 5th seed, how did that align with your expectations, and then getting Bethel Park as your opponent as the number 12?
That's a great question, Sean. I was happy with the 5th seed. I was expecting anything from 6 to 8, as a matter of fact. But I did put out to some close friends that if there was any team that we could avoid, it would be Bethel Park. Well coached, perhaps the most competitive section in 5A. We realized that they're a very, very good team. So, regardless of their seeding being 12th, we know what Bethel will bring. We know that they'll be ready, and we're looking forward to a good game.
What are some of the keys to knock off the Blackhawks?
I'd like to say play with pace. If we can get up and down and turn that game into a transition style, I think that would be better suited for us. We would have to defensively close out on shooters. As we're breaking down film, it appears that every one of their players can shoot it. So to run them off the 3-point line, ask them to create on their own as they try to get to the rim would be a philosophical approach defensively.
Lastly, you get a pretty cool opportunity to enjoy this historic run with your daughter as a key part of this team. Obviously, she's in the starting lineup. What has that been like? How much has that added to this whole experience?
Um, I've been personally searching for that section title from my days of Plum. Everything happens for a reason, and God has a purpose. And I believe that Chloe was meant to do this with me. So it couldn't be more special for her and I, as well as the rest of the team. Oftentimes I refer to those as my daughters on the court. And with this tight group, I sincerely mean that.
Bernie, thanks so much for taking the time. Congrats once again, and good luck in the postseason.
Thanks for having me, Sean. I appreciate it.